We were getting there, guys. We're getting pretty close. 48,000 likes out of 60,000 at the time of this recording. So unfortunately, we did not make the 60,000 like goal, so I won't be destroying my brother's PC. A lot of you guys don't like destruction, and instead of destroying the PC, you guys kept writing in the comment section that you wanted to do a giveaway. It doesn't work that way, guys. Either I destroy it or I don't. So I'm sorry. I do have other giveaways obviously on the channel, but these are just challenges. So I'll be back next week with another challenge. But with that said, welcome to Setup Wars episode 74. Let the Setup Wars begin. If you guys are shopping around for your next game, make sure to check out g2a.com because they have the cheapest CD keys available for pretty much any game. I'll drop a link to them down below if you want to check it out. As always, you guys can find the gear for everyone's setups linked below in case you're interested, but here are your 5 contestants for this week. We have Penguin, Danielle, Richie, Rick, and Ryan. Let's start the show. So first up is AnAtomicPenguin, and it looks like we have a fairly simple triple monitor setup. The center being a 24-inch AOC, and the side 2 are 24-inch BenQ monitors. On the IKEA Rigastad table, I think that's how you pronounce it, is the Corsair Vengeance K65 keyboard paired with the Logitech G502, and both are resting on the glorious extended mousepad. I love the clean wireless look of these setups. Drilling a hole in the desk to run the wires through is always something I love seeing. Hanging from the Brainwaves holder is the M50X's, and finally we have an Audio Technica mic hooked up to a boom arm. It appears that he's a streamer. Cable management looks pretty good at this angle, although there are some additional wires visible. Usually people send me pictures of the bottom of the desk to see how they did their cable management, but I'll have to just deal with these pictures instead. I would recommend putting a piece of wood or something underneath your PC instead of leaving it on the carpet like that, which attracts more dust. But it looks like you have a 4930K and an MSI GTX 1070 Seahawk graphics card. This is a great setup. I like the placement of the boom arm off to the side, which doesn't get in the way of the monitors when you are not using them. I also like how clean the surface area is, not a single wire in sight. But it's lacking some personality and seems a bit too plain if I'm being frank. It's also missing some consistency. I mean, we have 2 different monitors, different color accents, it just doesn't blend well together. But don't get me wrong, this is a very clean setup, it just needs some spice, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Thank you, Penguin, for entering. Next up is Danielle with an OCD enticing setup. So we have 3 different monitors, 27-inch BenQ, which is the main monitor, a 24-inch Asus as an overhead, and finally a 22-inch Dell monitor to the right side. On the desk, we have a Havit keyboard and another Logitech G502 mouse on top of a really badass looking extended mousepad. I'm not sure if you moved the keyboard off the mousepad on purpose just to show it off, but I'm glad you did. For those of you who are wondering, this is actually a custom-made mousepad from a website. You can basically upload your very own image and they print it out and send it over. Very nice. To the left, we have a pair of Harman Kardon headphones hanging from the wall, but that's not the only thing that's hanging from the walls in Daniel's room. Nope, we have a 50-inch LG TV hanging right above his PS4. We also have a wall shelf holding up 2 of the best superheroes in any comic book. Yes, I did go there. And 2 freaking crossbows. It's Hunger Games up in this piece. I'm not gonna lie, this is far from the average boring setup. There's plenty of personality and color. Yes, color. The custom PC has all sorts of it. It also has an i7-930 processor paired with the GTX 970. I can't really see much of the cable management other than some wires on the left side, but overall nothing too bad. It may be lacking some organization and consistency, but it's definitely a cool setup, but an even better man cave. Thank you, Danielle, for entering. Richie Rich is next up with a very clean ultra-wide setup. I'm starting to see more ultra-wide setups on the show, I'm not really sure why. Anyway, so Richie is rocking the Acer Predator X34, which is sandwiched by 2 Audio Engine A5 Plus speakers, and also on the desk he has the K70 keyboard from Corsair and the SteelSeries Rival 300 mouse. Finally, something that isn't Logitech. On the wall shelf to his left is a pair of handcrafted pistols, and oh, you know, just a casual EVGA 1080 just chilling there. Not much to show for cable management since the backboard is pretty much covering everything, but there is a HyperX Cloud 2 gaming headset hooked up on the side, which I like to see. And finally, we have his very stunning white and blue water-cooled PC rocking the 6700K and a GTX 1080. This is a very clean build, and I'm digging the Adventure Time wizard that's chilling on the top of one of those fans. This is definitely a clean and organized ultra-wide setup, no doubt. Thank you, Richie, for entering. Speaking of ultra-wide setups, we have another one from Rick. So we have two 29-inch monitors from LG mounted against the backboard, and just look at that speaker placement. That is music to my ears. So symmetrical and so beautiful. There's definitely not a whole lot going on here. I mean, the only thing that's on this massive custom desk is the Logitech J810 keyboard and MX Master mouse. I feel like this setup belongs in an art museum. Speaking of art, take a look at that cable management. God damn. We have several power strips that are powering everything for the setup, and then there are also 4 LED RGB strips that run along the edge of the backboard that kind of give it that glow effect. We have a cable drop on the left side holding up his charging cable, and a few more cable clips underneath the table that help with routing the wires. We also have the PC down here, which has an i5 750 and a GTX 550 Ti running in tandem with the Radeon HD 5770. Overall, the cleanliness of the setup and the cable management blew me away, but I feel like it's missing something. The item to the empty space ratio is way too large, and I feel like something needs to be done with the surface of the desk. Regardless, this is one of the cleanest setups that I've seen on the show. Thank you, Rick, for entering. Last but not least, we have Ryan with a killer black and red gaming setup. He's rocking a 29-inch LG ultrawide in between two 24-inch Acer monitors. The keyboard of choice is the Fire Dancing First Player, and he also has the Zelotes gaming mouse on top of the Swift gaming mousepad. I just love the consistency of the setup, and to have a matching chair is the icing on the cake. Also on the desk, he has the Vision gaming headset resting on a headset stand, and above his setup is his PC. I really hope that shelf doesn't break off because that would be traumatizing. But inside here is the 6700K and a Gigabyte GTX 1070. Another thing I noticed is the USB hub that you hooked up against the wall, which is a very unusual spot. Most people keep that under the desk. I would personally pick up a flat design USB hub so that you can add it under your desk, because it's a lot cleaner than sticking it on the wall, but that's just me. Cable management, on the other hand, is pretty good. The IKEA Beckhand desk comes with a net underneath, which is excellent for storing cables. And I like the fact that you wrapped up the PC wires together using some Velcro straps. It also looks like we have another Star Wars fan, from the posters to the collectibles, and then we have this thing. Other than the relocation of that USB hub, I say that this is a very badass, color-coordinated gaming setup. Thank you, Ryan, for entering. So that is it for this episode. As always, make sure you guys vote down below by writing down who has the best desk setup from this episode, and as always, announce the winners on my social media platforms. Thank you guys so much for watching. As always, leave a like if you enjoy setup wars, and I'll see you in the next video.